Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Happy birthday, America. That's right. I'm sure most of you are aware, but for those perhaps not residing in the United States, today, July 4th, is America's birthday. And we've got some special XRP price action that has lined up for this day, which I will be sharing with you. But the main stories I want to discuss are as follows. Take a look at this, because there's a notable analyst here, a top analyst, if you will, who's thinking things are going to be happening with XRP specifically. He talks about other coins too within this within his little spiel here, but specifically XRP imminent rally. Check this out. Here's the headline. Top Bitcoin analyst says altcoin breakout imminent. Predicts Ethereum, XRP, Litecoin, and 6 crypto assets set for major rallies. I also have this headline from Bitcoinist.com titled, Whale. Before the next Bitcoin bull run, expect an altcoin extinction event. Ooh, sounds ominous. What about XRP, though? I'll get to it. But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, I would appreciate it. It's super good for the YouTube algorithm. It'll get this lovely Moon Lambo voice out to more people if you're willing to do so. And also, treat yourself, girl, by subscribing to the Moon Lambo channel. This channel will make your life less boring, and you will probably become more cool than you are today. So the crypto asset class right here, where's the number? I thought it was at the top here. I was going to check the market cap for the asset class here. Now I don't freaking see it. It was at maybe they moved it. Or it's either that or I'm blind. I'm probably just blind. Here, oh, never mind. It's right here. Duh. Anyway, $260 billion market cap. Bitcoin's at $9,148. And you've got XRP at 17.8 cents. But what is that special XRP price action I was talking about? Well, this was called, by the way, by I think Kevin Cage. I saw him call this and say this, not that it would happen, but that it'd be kind of neat if it did. Take a look at the following. From XRP Freeze, who tagged me along with some others in the XRP community, including my fellow XRP YouTuber Kevin Cage. And here's a screen grab of the XRP price a little bit earlier today. 17.76 cents. Now, I'm sure that everybody in the United States gets the relevance of this, but for those of you unaware outside of the United States, the founding date and year of United States was July 4th, 1776. And there you go. We've got some very patriotic XRP price action. So how about that? I just thought it was kind of funny to point out given the specialness of today. All right. And by the way, PSA: be careful with them fireworks out there. I don't want anybody getting hands blown off. If you're holding a firework, don't like cover your hand around it and then light it. You will lose your hand. That happens to somebody. There's always a story about that, like every freaking year. All right, into this now. Crypto strategist Nicholas Merton says altcoins are poised to rise up against Bitcoin as large market cap coins such as Ethereum, XRP, and Litecoin begin to show signs of strength in their Bitcoin pairs. On the latest episode of Data Dash, Merton looks at Ethereum and sees the cryptocurrency printing solid bullish signals against the King coin. And here's a quote. These longer-term indicators are starting to showcase that we're setting up for a reversal. If you just take a look at the price here, this is beautiful. This is exactly what we want to see. It's nice sideways consolidation. Higher lows, and again, not any further sell-side activity. Now, all we're looking for is higher highs compared to what we have set back here in December of 2018. And then they get to XRP, and the piece continues. As for XRP, Merton believes the cryptocurrency is likely to face more pain in the short term, but he expects Ripple's native token, and it's not Ripple's native token, it's just a decentralized cryptocurrency, but expects it to trigger a parabolic rise against Bitcoin once it completes a bullish pattern. Now, before I read the quote from him and Nicholas Merton as far as what he thinks is going to happen with XRP, it is worth noting that this individual, he's certainly not a troll, but he is not a fan of Ripple. He is not a fan of XRP. He's always polite about it. He just happens to share an opinion that is different than mine, and I don't think that his position is logical, and he probably doesn't think that mine makes sense, but that's fine. He's always an adult about it, and I like his channel. But here's what he had to say. It's been over a year now that we have been in this descending wedge, and I have no doubt it is probably going to be another couple of weeks, maybe another month or so, until we really get a break on it. After that, that is when we can start to see the kind of volatile kick up to the upside, and we start to get almost a parabolic rise here for cryptocurrencies. Yeah, so this is the funny thing about XRP. If you just look historically how it's behaved over the last decade, it does follow Bitcoin, but it has these longer sideways movements. You can think of from in the year 2017 during the major rally for the entire asset class from May to December. Relatively speaking, XRP didn't do much anything, but then it just rocketed from 20-something cents to almost $4, beginning roughly, mid-December, and it went on that path for about a month. And there's no indication that people are behaving differently now. And I'm not offering financial advice, just to be clear, because I do not have a financial background, and I wouldn't want that kind of responsibility anyway, so don't buy or sell because of me. But I am happy to speak about this because it's an interesting topic here. But it's funny because there have been other articles I've been highlighting somewhat recently, and a lot of these are talking about, oh my gosh, XRP price action. Look, is it dead? And so, most of the Bitcoin type websites have been writing crap like that. And then I just sit here and I've said it on the channel. I'm just like, this is the most stupid analysis. So XRP price is low now, which means that XRP, in terms of it actually being used and adopted, it's just over. That's just the most nonsensical thing. Market cycles are cyclical. There's every indication that XRP is continuing to be adopted in a real world instances. It's meaningful. That is what matters, because my entire investment thesis is that utility matters and will win the day here. And so here you have somebody who, although doesn't like Ripple, doesn't like XRP, is giving an honest analysis here. I just don't like the chart analysts that will just, basically make doomsday predictions which don't make any sense purely based on ideology. That's the type of stuff I don't like, and we're not getting that from Nicholas, so I'm appreciative. He's willing and able to say good things about XRP in terms of price action, even though he's not a fan. I think that's cool, but I just these days of XRP at 1776, it's not. I don't think it's going to be lasting forever. What do you think? I certainly do not think that. All right, next, a shout-out to Dr. Harry J. Malinsky for tagging me in this next piece. And he wrote, sounds like someone hasn't heard of XRP the Standard from that little 1% known as Ripple. Don't worry, you can cheer us on from the sidelines. We are all good sports. So let's jump into this piece now. Again, it's titled, Before the Next Bitcoin Bull Run, Expect an Altcoin Extinction Event. If you looked into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency on Twitter over the past half year, you will likely know of Joe 007. He is a pseudonymous Bitcoin whale that, through Bitfinex's leaderboard system, displayed he made millions of dollars trading a month. After a 2-month hiatus, Joe 007 returned to crypto Twitter last week, and he's been quick to make striking and polarizing comments. Altcoins have done extremely well over recent weeks and months. The chart below from an industry data analyst depicts this trend well. Since the start of the year, a majority of altcoins have actually outperformed Bitcoin. You can see there's a chart on the screen. Yes, this trend won't last for long, according to Joe 007. He wrote on July 3rd that his view is that a S-word coin mass extinction event will likely precede next Bitcoin rally. Make of it what you will. And I'm not sure that I'm completely convinced of that. I think it may be the case that the next time we have an alt season, maybe it'll look a little bit different than it did in 2017, because really, you could have invested in anything in 2017 and it just would have gone up. Until obviously the massive crash and retracement and all that jazz. But no, you seriously, and I do mean that quite literally, you could have bought anything and you would have felt like you were a genius like a week later. That's roughly how it worked. It did not mean you were a genius if it went up. That was certainly not the case. That was just a frenzy. It didn't make any sense. People just behaving like people do in terms of this crazy buying action. But I'm not sure that I'm so convinced that humans are evolving enough to have this mass extinction. I certainly do believe it will happen over time because the vast majority of these cryptocurrencies are not being adopted in any sort of meaningful way. And I still firmly believe that those cryptocurrencies that are actually solving a real-world problem and become standards, like XRP, for example, those are the ones that I believe will have staying power. Anyway, the piece continues. The Bitcoin investor made this response to a question from one of his followers about Bitcoin's dominance metric. Joe007 is far from the only investor expecting a majority of non-Bitcoin cryptocurrencies to fall. The chief executive of Bitcoin infrastructure firm Blockstream, Adam Back, in June asserted that there is only one cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. Well, there's actually over 5,000, but hey, who's counting? Clearly not Adam Back. Not counting properly, anyway. There's also Jason Calacanis? I don't know. You got a hard name, Jason. Your last name's hard. But I can say your first one, Jason. So anyway, Jason Calacanis, a prominent entrepreneur, is an angel investor, well known for investing in Uber, Robinhood, and Trello. He said on June 27th of the efficacy of altcoin projects, quote, historically, 99% of crypto projects are garbage run by unqualified idiots, delusional, but below average founders or grifters. The 1% that are not could change the world. I'm waiting for that 1% to deliver their products so I can talk to their customers. You got customers? Question mark. Yeah. Does that sound like it could be XRP? It certainly does to me, and that's probably not what he's thinking about. But yeah, actual utility, that's what actually matters here. So it'll be interesting to watch. Do you think Nicholas Merton is right? Are we going to see some awesome positive XRP price action, perhaps beginning in just within the next several weeks? I'll take it. We'll see what happens here. In the meantime, just continuing to accumulate here, because why not? I tell you, when I jumped into the world of crypto, I never would have dreamed I'd have this much time to accumulate. Because when I started this, a little over 2.5 years ago, I didn't understand, because I'd never had a reason to research. I didn't understand how market cycles worked, and so when it started going up, I was like, oh man, well at least I got a little bit before. That's what I was thinking. At least I got a little bit before it started going up here. Not understanding that it was highly likely that it was going to crash. And I also believe next time there's some parabolic action with XRP and the crypto asset class as a whole, it'll go up, 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 and then it will massively retrace again. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with XRP fundamentally. It will just mean that this is how humans behave, and it's a market cycle. Not really a big deal. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything, because if anything I say or write, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!